Hello, this is Harry Paden, the host of the Irvington Now Show. Today I have as my guest Mr. Frankie Lucas, and see, you guys know, you might not see me for a minute, but I make some mistakes. And I just sort of open my mouth, but it's Mr. Lucas, and I will have him give some information, give his correct name if I didn't give it correctly. Mr. Lucas, can you give our audience some background information on yourself?
Absolutely. Like you said, Mr. Paden, my name is Frank Lucas.
It is Paden. See.
Okay,
Don't even worry about it, but that's okay. We having fun here.
Yes, Frank Lucas. When I say Frank Lucas, some people always say, "Hey, you know who Frank Lucas is?" Yes. The Frank Lucas. Yes, I am he, but I'm pushing hope and inspiration. So I'm a father, passionate, compassionate person. I work for the state of New Jersey as a civil rights investigator, and I am a community activist. So that's just the basics of who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to today to just reveal myself and give the people of the township of Irvington some of the things that I'm doing here in the township.
Okay. All right, great. That's a great introduction, and even me, I asked you the same question, in the beginning, because there's that infamous.
That's right.
Frank Lucas.
That's right.
But you're on the other side of the coin, and you're making the Frank Lucas into a stellar name.
That's right.
That's a not just an infamous name. So
That's right.
I know a lot
Exactly.
about you, so I can say that without any embellishment.
Absolutely.
Now you had mentioned about your employment. You're employed in a very interesting position. Can you
Yes.
share what you do and how it may impact people who live in areas such as Irvington?
Yes. Well, my life journey has been involved with public interest and public interest advocacy, and right now I am a civil rights investigator for the Attorney General's office.
Wow.
And I deal with discrimination in housing, education, and public accommodations. So for those who are out there and are viewing this, if you are having issues or you think you have been a victim of alleged discrimination, feel free to contact one of the offices here in the state of New Jersey. We have an office in Newark, Atlantic City, Cherry Hill, and in Trenton. I'm a housing investigator. So for example, for those who don't know, if you are seeking a apartment, two-family or residential or apartment facility or complex, it is illegal for landlords in New Jersey to refuse Section 8 housing. So if you do have that voucher and you are inquiring with various realtor companies,
Yes.
or potential landlords, and they say, well, I don't want to accept your Section 8. I'm not looking for those who have those type of vouchers. That is illegal, and you should contact the division on civil rights.
Yes.
And inquire.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And it's funny how life communicates that, because I knew, from your bio information, we didn't discuss it in depth, but I'm a Section 8 inspector. It's I'm about to retire from that position. That's how long I've been there. But certainly that is great information, because a person cannot refuse a person just based on them having a Section 8 voucher.
Correct.
So that's good to know. And please give him a call, his office a call, because again, this is federal. I always tell people I work for the federal government. Not to put me as a big time person, but when you deal with the federal does not mess around. You violate the federal law, you violate something that you're going to get in trouble for.
Absolutely.
So Mr. Lucas is a good asset that you can call
Yes.
if someone denies you this housing based on you receiving a Section 8 voucher. Thank you very much for the information.
Absolutely.
In addition, you're the founder and executive director for the Irvington Coalition for Empowerment.
Yes.
Why did you form this coalition, and in what year?
Well, this was we actually formed the coalition in 2015, based on some research that I was conducting at the time, and I discovered that in years past, Irvington only has one high school, and the graduation rate for Irvington High School at one time was 45%. So with those results, I decided to try to initiate something that can deal with that particular statistics, because not every high school students going to go off to college. Obviously, some are not even graduating.
Yeah.
So the idea was to create something, sort of a resource for those individuals who didn't have ambitions on pursuing college. So we created this agriculture, vocational, and referral entity so that we can reach those youth who were not really interested in college but wanted to help or assist them with a vocation.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's great, and that's good to know. I've been involved with the high school for many years. I began that involvement back in the early 90s. I have two daughters who attended the high school, have since graduated, and much like you, I had to be active because there was a lot going on, positive and negative, and through the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, we changed a lot of we made a lot of positive things. So it's good to know, because I'm not as involved as I used to. I'm a lot older. I don't have children in school, but there's still young men like yourself that are looking out for it, because the high school in and of itself is a great place, but it needs the community to engage itself, so it's good.
Yes.
So now, then, what are some of the services offered by the Irvington Coalition for Empowerment?
Like I said, we serve as, our creation was more of to be like a sort of a wraparound referral type of entity, and we're working out of the Gatling Center a couple of days out of the week on Mondays and Thursdays, 285 Union Avenue, between the hours of 6:30 and 8, and individuals between 15 to 22 can come in and talk to us. We'll sit down with one of our coordinators and talk about some of the programs that we have in place. We have a mentorship program that we deal with young men and women, trying to cultivate them and turn them into responsible young adults. We have an agriculture program where we are partnering with the Township of Irvington in the Urban Garden Initiative. So we want to teach the seniors and the young people how to cultivate, grow food, and maybe turn it into an entrepreneurship opportunity and turn it in and sell it at a farmer's market, so to speak. And finally, we are serving as a referral entity with various vocational schools in the Essex County, Greater Newark area. One, the National Career Institute, we have a partnership with them where we can identify young people in the urban settings and refer them if they want to gain knowledge in construction, plumbing, HVAC. Those vocations where you can have hands-on experience and turn it into another entrepreneurship opportunity where you can be in business for yourself. So that's what we're doing in a nutshell. And if I can elaborate a little bit about what we're doing currently, we are conducting leadership workshops for the alternative high school here in Irvington, Blue Knights Academy. We go there once a week, and we have open dialogue, open discussion about current events and some of the curriculum that we have in place that deals with mentorship. So that's exciting for us to get to interact a little bit with the younger generation and serve as that example. At the same time of giving some tutelage and some mentorship to the young folks.
Yeah, so that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And again, I'm glad to know. Now, I always tell the audience, sometimes in my just interviewing people, I find out more information about different aspects, and I've seen some information about your group, but I didn't go in depth, and it's good. It's good. It's great information. We had spoken off camera that I'm part of the Irvington Health Coalition or Health Department. I know they have a separate from the Health Department where we meet occasionally, and that there is going to be you're going to help me with it, but on the top of the garage.
Yes, the hydroponic garden.
Right, right, where they're going to grow things, and that goes right along with what you guys are doing. So that's fantastic. I'm not much of a green thumb person. I have since stopped doing that because when you kill something, it's a live plant, and I try to grow a plant that dies. I'm one of those persons that feel, bad for it. But it's good to, like you said, there's some people who are on that other side where their academia may take them through life and they may do something related to that. Then there's other people that can grow things and fix things, and that's good that you are, you know, offering opportunity and training for those persons.
Absolutely, and our theme is going to have our garden be sort of a intergenerational garden, where we're going to have you know, teaching beds for the seniors as well as young people. So we're excited. We're excited.
Beautiful, and that's fantastic. Again, this is the second time I've heard of that. The senior center had a interaction between the seniors and the youth, and again, I cannot say how much that is what is the bridge to bring our society, our communities back, because now our young people are losing out because our seniors haven't interacted with them the way our parents used to interact and give us those little tidbits, and that's good because you can get those tidbits. There was a time when we didn't have to go to the drugstore for medicine. There were people who knew how to heal things just from the herbs and stuff.
That's right.
I don't know how to do that, you know, because I was too educated to learn that stuff. I'm telling you the truth. I'm on camera telling you the truth. I wouldn't have wanted to learn that because I thought that my brain would take me everywhere. But when I get sick, that don't take me anywhere. You know, I cannot heal myself.
That's right.
So we need to continue to use those things because they didn't have the academic knowledge that we had, but they certainly had the brain capacity that of a doctor. They could heal themselves. They could take a plant and they could heal you. And that's what's missing a lot, and I'm so glad that you're bringing those two entities together.
Absolutely.
Thank you. What is the CFE Youth Project? Is that what you've spoken about? Or
yes.
Okay.
That is the youth project that we have in place that deals with sort of a passage to young adulthood. It's specifically geared towards young boys. Boyhood to Manhood initiative, right? Sort of a rites of passage. But we have the ability to incorporate both female and males in this particular curriculum. Some of the highlights of the curriculum would be leadership, of course, personal responsibility, economics, education, social justice, and health and historical and cultural identity. So, you know, if you put all those ingredients into a pot, you will come up with a pretty good person with some character and integrity. And that's what we try to instill into these young people, so that they can develop critical and logical thinking skills, so they can internalize it, apply it in everyday life, and this is what we call the experiential learning process.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm so glad to hear that. Again, it's you know, things that as I look back on my past, and I've said it many times, is that I was a young man who came from some places that people don't always think people could get out of, and things, Harlem, Newark, but the kind of people that I was around were people like you, men who came in with suits and ties and spoke very well and looked very well, and you know, they shaped our lives because we had different people in our community that didn't look like them. But they gave us something, and it shot my world. It took my world a whole different thing. Again, I'm a suit guy, you know. I can do those kind of things, and I learned that as a young man. So, again, I cannot say it enough that I'm just enthused that you guys are doing that, because this is something that is going to help the community, going to help the young man and the young lady. So, thank you, Mr. Lucas. As we
not a problem.
Yes, as we go forward. I always say this, and I sometimes say it late in the program, please call a friend, call a neighbor. The show will air several times, and let them know, because you may know a young man or a young lady that may be able to use the resources that are here. So glad that Mr. Lucas is here to express it. We will be back. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back right in a minute. Stay with us and invite a friend.